In this video, I will go over one of the most essential parts of a debate, flowing. Up until the summary speech, there are about 30 minutes of debate. And how exactly are you going to condense half an hour of information into 2 minutes? As your opposition continues spamming you with information, without notes, they will slowly turn into random thoughts. If only there was a way to take notes during a debate in an organized manner that could list out all the arguments and all the rebuttals. Oh wait, that's called flowing. There are many different ways of flowing, but the way we use is called a fivefold. To begin with, you need 2 sheets of paper, each folded into 5 columns. On one piece of paper, it will be pro, con, and pro, and on the other, it would be the opposite, con, pro, and con. The order of using these sheets is then based on the speaking order. On each piece of paper, the first column will be used for the constructive speech, the second for rebuttals from the other side, the third for defense rebuttals, which are simply rebuttals against the opposition's rebuttal. For example, if during a debate on apples versus bananas, you bring up the claim that bananas are yellow, the opposition then rebuts this point by saying that yellow does not prove it is better. Obviously, you would want to address this rebuttal, and so let's say you reply by saying yellow leads to happiness. This column will then help you see which rebuttals were left unaddressed. Remember, just because a point is rebutted doesn't mean the debate is over. Moving on, the fourth column is for the summary, and the final column is for final focus. This way, you will have a very clear view of all the arguments brought up throughout the entire debate, and know exactly which ones were dropped and which points were not rebutted. For example, if pro were to speak first, we would flow the constructive in the box with number 1, then moving on to the con-constructive in box 2, then in box 3, 4, and 5 respectively. Just to make sure that everything is clear, there will be a template of the flow presented in the video and a blank template for printing. To make sure that you actually are able to keep up with your opponent's speaking speed, there's also a shorthand list that we use to finish quick notes. Both files of the templates and the shorthand list can be found on Moodle. A few examples of the most basic flowing techniques include the arrow and the giant X. As you can see here, an arrow is needed to connect the constructive claim with the rebuttal to make sure that you know which claim is connecting to which. If a claim is not addressed, simply draw a giant X to remember that this point was dropped. Now that we've gone over all the basics, it's time to see some action.
My pro-constructive speech starts now. We are the pro side arguing that bananas are better than apples. Framework. If we prove that bananas prolong human life, then we shall win this debate. Contention 1. Bananas are good for our health. Claim 1. Bananas are yellow and yellow makes people happy. According to Professor Randy Gu from Harvard, yellow things make people happy, and happier people live longer. Claim 2. Bananas have rich nutrients, meaning we can live longer. Therefore, we urge a pro ballot.
The con-constructive speech starts now. We are the con side, arguing that apples are better than bananas. Contention 1. Apples bring diversity and change to the world. Claim 1. Apples come in different colors. According to Celine from Stanford, diversity leads to innovation. Claim 2. Apples taste awesome and contain water. Joseph from Yale wrote that tasty things lead to increased brain activity, leading to innovation and change. In addition, we save time by eating and drinking at the same time. Therefore, please urge a con ballot.
My pro-rebuttal speech starts now. First, to go over the framework. The opposition provided no framework, so this debate should be judged under ours, which is, if we prove that bananas prolong human life, then we shall win this debate. Now to begin my rebuttals. The opposition said that apples taste awesome and thus leads to innovation. But apples are not the only things that taste awesome. Bananas also taste awesome. Therefore, apples are not unique, and bananas can also bring the benefits that apples bring.
My con rebuttal speech starts now. The opposition said that bananas have rich nutrients, but apples also have rich nutrients. The opposition then rebutted our point, saying bananas also spark innovation, but apples have more to offer. As we have just proven, apples bring the same amount of benefit as bananas, but it also contains water. Therefore, apples are better than bananas because of this additional benefit.
My pro-summary speech starts now. To begin with, the opposition has not rebutted our framework, and thus this debate should be judged under our framework. The main clashes in this debate have been whichever fruit can provide additional benefits, since certain benefits overlap. Judge, please note that the opposition never rebutted our point that the yellowness of bananas leads to a happy life, and thus prolongs human life. Bananas are the only one providing happiness, nutrients, and innovation. Therefore, under our framework, we win this debate.
My con summary speech starts now. The main clashes of this debate have been over proving which benefit provided by which fruit prolongs human life. However, the real question here is to what extent. Bananas only provide immediate health benefits, but not long-term for humanity as a whole. According to Grace from Brown, innovation leads to overall improvement in the healthcare, agriculture, and environmental industries in the world, thus prolonging humanity as a whole, even if you don't eat apples directly. Andre from MIT shows that water and apples are needed for the innovation to happen. Therefore, under the opposition's framework, apples are the only fruit that can provide innovation and long-term health benefits, and thus we win this debate. As you can see, I did not quite finish flowing when the time went up. For the sake of understanding the flow without too much trouble, I wrote out entire words, like banana. But during a debate, topic words should always be abbreviated. Imagine if you wrote out space colonization every time it was mentioned. Just a reminder that the purpose of this flow was just to show you the organization of flowing and the importance of shorthand. Try your best not to use entire words. I cannot stress how important the shorthand flow is, because without it, we simply cannot keep up with the speed of a debate. Anyways, the picture of this flow, the flowing template, and the shorthand list will all be posted on Moodle. That's all for flowing. Thank you for watching.